is the concept of Akhand Bharat taking more shape? Well, this is not a single country that will be around for this whole area, but it is probably a bunch of countries, but with a similar mindset, a similar approach, a similar access to technology and style of life. That's what we are looking at, because I'm not saying that all the countries that we are going to talk about or all the regions that we're going to talk about here are all going to say, okay, tomorrow we want to all merge with India. Not at all. That's not going to happen. 3 slides, 3 bullets in each slide, just to give a point here about what are the possibilities should a few countries align themselves in a certain way. That's all I'm going to say. This is a very interesting look at this entire area. This might happen in 10 years, 25 years, or even sooner, because the economics of what is happening today on the ground might demand that many of these countries align themselves with India, because the alternatives are not that good. So I have a small slide deck, like I said, 3 slides, 3 bullets in each slide. So not a very big one, but a lot of food for thought. Here we go. Exploring India's future, Akhand Bharat and economic growth. Already you are seeing that some things are only possible when there is scale. For example, UPI. UPI has become so ubiquitous in India that now many other smaller countries are signing up to follow UPI so that they can in turn start using this technology. Why is UPI so preferred? It's, first of all, it is efficient. Second of all, it reaches the last mile very easily. And once a certain area has the capture, then what happens is it's much easier and much safer to just use UPI to transfer money rather than to carry cash. Counterfeiting gone, a lot of other things gone, and this is where it should be going. Does a country like even Pakistan have UPI? Wait a minute, Pakistan doesn't even have a proper infrastructure still, and they haven't desilted their biggest river Sindh, and the seawater is coming backwards into the river, and it's actually making the entire sand uncultivable. Horrible things are happening in Pakistan because we all know this. Pakistan is not a country with an army, but rather an army with a country, and it is just gone to dogs, hell in a handbasket. So, what is the concept of Akhand Bharat? It is unifying the Indian subcontinent. I've said UPI just for the simple reason that some technologies can take off only when there is a critical mass. Today, for example, Maldives can use UPI. I'm told Nepal, Bhutan are getting behind it, and so is Sri Lanka. So somebody who's traveling from India to all these places can use their UPI instantly. The backend takes care, and then the currency exchange is calculated, and the person who's selling it to you gets paid in their local currency. It's very handy if you're going into deep areas in many countries, because today the alternative is for you to use a US dollar. For those countries that don't accept Indian rupee, they will accept US dollar. How do you make others accept the Indian rupee? UPI is a very great entry point for all these things. In fact, I can see that if you look at this map here, Afghanistan and Pakistan, when it is completely broken up into smaller pieces and the smaller pieces start aligning themselves with India, I see no alternative for them other than that. But that they'll learn their lessons over time. And then you have Bangladesh, which is again creation or recreation of Pakistan's dreams at night, and that will be again sorted out soon. And you have the other countries beyond that: Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines. All these countries also, they were all dharmic at one point of time, and all of them again, they can benefit from something like the UPI, because the efficiencies in money transfer become much apparent very quickly. That too, just one instance. Okay, there are many other things where there is a connect. Historically, culturally, everybody here has been a Sanatani at some point of time or the other. And once this realization seeps in, then there will be harmony and regional stability, allowing for the entire region to grow. India's growing economic power and influence in the global south. Now, India is not only the spokesperson for all the South Asian region. Of course, Pakistan might not agree, but who cares about them, right? I mean, they've completely lost their relevance in this whole area, and so is Bangladesh, going very fast down that path. But you see where India is respected. India is respected in Africa, it is respected in Latin America, other countries also. Why? Because India doesn't have this "I'm going to rob you blind" approach. They always give you things in a way in which it is more like, we will help you get up and start walking, and then you'll start running on your own. At every step of the way, we are there to help you. For example, IIT Madras has a branch now in Africa, where the African countries can then send their students. See, this is how India does it. And the faculty there is also trained to be from the local areas. So the idea is, you give them the right infrastructure, right course material, right way to teach, and then everything else takes over from that point forward. And when India goes and executes projects in Africa or any other country, they use the local labor, local technical expertise, except those are very specific, which needs the India's training, because somebody needs the equipment, how to operate it. At least in the initial phases, that's the only places where India uses its own. Unlike, like for example, China. Now, economic advantage is one. Second is strategic partnerships, where now US is increasingly looking to India for patrolling the entire Indian Ocean region, whether it's the Hormuz Strait or the Red Sea, or keeping the pirates at bay. India has stepped up to the plate and is doing a fantastic job. And now, in the other thing you're seeing is, look at the way India is going about in satellite technology, or in many other areas. Its rise has been very impressive, and this again paves way for the entire region to benefit. For that, they need to sort of align a few things along with how India is doing it. Like, I'll tell you, in Cambodia, I could not pay for things in Indian rupee. I had to use either the local currency or the United States dollar. And these are all small things. But if Cambodia were to be on UPI, then it would be much easier. See, this simple trick that requires some small working in the back end can go a long way in aligning and harmonizing relationships. Now, the role of technology and innovation is really shaping India's future. The potential impact of Akhand Bharat will be huge, because what happens is, the economies of scale will be increasing. And when that happens, what happens is that, for example, instead of manufacturing 10,000 scooters a year for a particular company, they may be manufacturing 20,000, because all these small countries, each one may need 1,000 here or 2,000 there. But when you combine them all, then the number becomes much higher. And these are not numbers that would interest bigger manufacturers such as China or America. America has given up on car manufacturing a long time ago. I mean, even Japan is not doing much. Europe also is in the doldrums. So who is going to fill in, pick up the slack here and do it? That's India. And as India becomes a key player in the world stage, this is only going to accelerate. And I'm hoping that a few like-minded countries, once they start aligning, I think this process will become smoother. And I'm hoping that something like this is going to happen in the next few months. And that's what I'm sensing. I don't have any proof or any reliable indication as to what are the regions that are going to do it, or how this is going to happen. But I have a sense that this is very soon. At least 2 or 3 countries will start doing this, and once that happens, then the momentum starts building up, and then soon you will have this Akhand Bharat working as a big entity. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar. Thank you.